If you're just writing code and then waiting for somebody else to review your stuff and then you deploy it and then you make sure it works, like that's going away. That's solved by AI agents.
Hey, welcome to the Velocity Lab. I'm Dave.
And I'm Dan. We work inside engineering organizations every day, helping them ship faster with AI. Not in theory, but inside their actual teams. We come here and share what we're seeing in the field, what's working, what isn't, and what most people are getting wrong. No hype, no BS.
Yeah, no BS. So we work hand in hand with a bunch of different engineering teams. By the way, hands on the keyboard, not like PowerPoint presentation. We actually do the work. But today we're talking about we basically dropped one of our products. We're basically dropping AI adoption. The reason
we're reshaping it. I wouldn't say we're dropping it. I'd say that what we've been doing has been less effective than we would like.
Yeah.
So we're going to take another approach.
Yeah. So what we have been doing is we go into an organization. We have 3 months. We teach them. We have 2 tracks. One, we teach them how to use
Claude Code.
How to use Claude Code, basically, right?
What's an LLM? What's Claude Code?
Yeah,
what are skills, plugins, all that stuff.
Yeah. Like the stuff we just do anyways.
Yeah.
But we have a second tier, which we evaluate their SDLC, their software development lifecycle, and we figure out, okay, this is a bottleneck, that's a bottleneck, that's a bottleneck. And we work with their developers to remove those bottlenecks. The reason why we're shifting away from that or refocusing that is in 3 months' time, you can't really make a measurable difference, right?
Yeah. Also, a lot has happened in the past 3 months. We now have AI coding in the background for us constantly, right?
Yeah.
So it's no longer, in my opinion, we need to evaluate your SDLC and see what's slowing you down. It's, we know how to get you to agentic engineering. We're going to show you. Let's pick a service and do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just happened with one of our engagements. The 3 months ran out. We didn't make traction for a bunch of reasons. And this is common across the board. Organizations, they want to transform, but they don't allow enough time for it, right? Hey, CEOs and CTOs and all this stuff, if you really want to move faster, if you want to give your company competitive advantage against your competitors, you have to spend time, a significant amount of time to adopt AI.
You have to invest in a system to do this. And you don't even have to take our word for it. Go read about all the companies that are having success with this. They're not just flipping a switch. They're investing, they're building agents.
Yep.
They're investing in this system and exactly what we've done. But when we go into organizations, a lot of times it's nobody has time. They kind of just want us to do it, but it's a huge culture shift. Everybody needs to dedicate time. They need to get familiar with how you work with agentic systems and figure out the flow themselves, right?
Yeah, for sure. So we had one of our clients do this. They're like, you know what? After 3 months, not much happened because people didn't have time. And honestly, it's amazing to me that engineers nowadays still don't express interest in this stuff. I'm like, what? Yeah. Dude, you're not going to have a job a year from now. You're not. You might have a job, but it might be flipping burgers or an electrician. You're not going to be a software engineer.
I mean, think if you're a staff or principal engineer, you may have a job because what you're doing right now is probably what you're going to be doing with an AI agent.
Planning.
You're planning, you're reviewing, you're double checking, you're making sure that everything's sane. At least that part still needs a human in the loop. If you're just shipping code, which honestly was our favorite part, still is our favorite part to see AI shipping code for us. But if you're just writing code and then waiting for somebody else to review your stuff and then you deploy it and then you make sure it works, that's going away. That's solved by AI agents already.
Yeah, coding for sure is just, if you are still coding, you're a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's.
By the way, Dan, you're one of the best coders literally in 25 years. You're one of the best coders I've ever worked with by far. You're like top 2, top 3 I've ever met. And you're not even coding anymore, dude.
Because it makes no sense. It's not that I did have the shift in my career where I started coding less, doing more PR reviews, and that is still happening. I'm with AI. You're still reviewing PRs with AI in the loop because there's so much more code now. You have to. But so I kind of had to make that shift, and it was a really hard shift.
Like you talked before, to just step back. And
But you can't scale if you don't do that. And now with AI, it's even, Boris, I think, says he has thousands of agents. working for him while he sleeps. And we can't do that because we don't have unlimited amount of money like Anthropic.
No, but we both have
like,
agents that work overnight.
I know, but not thousands of them.
No,
That would
no,
run
no.
through our budget.
No,
and,
yeah,
like,
I don't.
I don't know.
Anthropic,
And
throw
probably,
some
who
free
knows,
tokens on Anthropic.
who knows? Maybe it's an exaggeration, but at the same time, it's like I kind of believe it. He was saying things 3 months ago that I didn't really believe. They're 3 to 6 months ahead of us because they have the new model. They're testing things locally, like internally, before it rolls out to us. But anyways, let's get back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
We've kind of shifted away from it's still AI transformation, but it's not, oh, let's look at the entire org. Oh, let's evaluate everybody's software lifecycle pipeline. Like, all right, we know exactly what you need to do.
We know what to do because we actually do it.
To get your services ready for agentic engineering.
Yep.
At least right now.
Yep.
I expect in 3 months, like it's
totally
going to change. And that other statement that Anthropic says, like every 90 days, like Claude Code's probably like completely rewritten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense because 90 days is about the cycle where everything changes.
Everything changes.
Like,
yeah.
But
we're getting away. So instead of, I think our latest model is instead of embedding in the whole org, we embed in one team.
Yep.
And then not
at least to start.
At least to start. And then we embed in, and even that, even better, we embed in one project, which could be just one repo, right? That's the new thing. And we can crank, man.
We do want it to be a big project. So something like, so we have, I don't know, 2 months to get something done that would usually take 6+ months, I think.
Yeah.
Because what we're doing is we're onboarding your repo and then we're just unleashing agents on your code base to migrate the service, rewrite the service, whatever it is. And that's the new plan. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Always iterating, evolving.
Yep.
We move fast. And the only way you can move fast if you stay up to speed, especially now with AI, it's like you're going to be left in the dust. It's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I think one thing that gives us superpowers, Dan, besides us being awesome and our years of experience, is that because we work with so many different engineers and engineering orgs, like I'm getting feedback and I'm getting ideas from these other people that are trying to solve different problems than me that make our products so much better. Even our own products, we have basically built our own SaaS. Even our own products are better because of just like working with other companies. If we only work for one company, we wouldn't get the disparity of like opinion. So it's been pretty awesome. So, but I think like, here's the deal. If you are CEO to CTO and you want to see velocity, let's get back to this. Don't try and transform your whole org. What I would do, here's my advice. If you have a quarter, let's say you have Q3 coming up.
Because it's too slow. You can't,
it's too slow.
You can't move the needle. You can move the needle eventually, but it's going to take 6 months maybe or something like that. And Dave and I like to move fast. Yeah. This is too long. Like it's just
so for
we
example,
can't wait that long.
Let's say Q3 is coming up. Okay, listen, we're pressed from the board or whatever. We need to show AI adoption. We need to show we're moving faster, right? Because our competitors are, right? So what do? First of all, you totally your product roadmap. Let's say there's 6 things in our product roadmap. First of all, blast pick like the top 2 most important, maybe top 3, and the rest get rid of. And here's my advice. Take your best people, not a big group, just a handful of your best people, and only focus on this, right? Let's automate this. Let's automate that. Let's automate this. Let's automate that. By the end of 3 months, you're gonna be like, holy cow, man. And then force the whole organization to adapt these skills, this system that you built. We love talking about a system. That's my thing, Dan, building systems.
Yeah.
Force your organization to adopt those systems. Any group or person who doesn't, get rid of them. End of story, right?
Sure.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Force is not the word that I would use, but I do agree. Like it's get your engineers engaged, show them the power of AI. And if they don't come along with the team, then you're going to have a decision to make, right? Yeah. You're opening it up to them, say, hey, look, the industry's changing. Yeah. Jump on board or go find another job because you need to accelerate this process.
Yeah.
And we're already seeing it, like with Block. Jack, I think the story everybody goes to is Jack from Block made a decision. All right, I'm just going to fire a bunch of people.
I'm going all in.
I'm going all in with AI.
Yeah.
And they built out their own coding agent, flattened the structure, and just
org structure got changed for sure.
We're all in. And it sucks. It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. No.
And it's even hard for me almost every single day. I was like, what is going on? So much stuff changing. I'm adapting every single day. It's like one of these extreme growth periods, I think, for myself. I had it at Uber. It was like a super hard time. it's happening now, but even though these growth periods are super hard, you come out the other end and you're 10x what you were when you started. And that's just what we're going through right now across the industry.
Yeah. So this whole episode is about basically we're giving you advice. Hey, industry leaders or leaders of corporations, companies, startups, whatever, we're giving you free advice on how to do AI adoption. Take a handful of your smartest people from one team or team, find one project.
Yeah, focus.
I would say like probably your most important project. What is your most important, which project do you need to move fastest on, and focus on that for 3 months. That's what you got to do. Don't do this like company-wide thing. It doesn't work.
I mean, remember why startups move fast, right? Why can the 5-person company move faster than the giant? And this is becoming even more true with AI, right? This has always been the case. How does a 5-person company disrupt the taxi cab industry? How does a 5-person company take over GitHub Copilot? This stuff, it's nuts, right? And we know that constraining it, focusing it on the important stuff, getting a small team together, remove the bureaucracy. You got to do it. You just got to move forward.
You must flatten your org. Free advice. Flatten your org.
And focus. And you do it there, then you do it with other teams. And
the whole thing, in the 3 months while you're focusing on one project, you're building the system, guys. You're building a system. That system will work for any other project you have. You might have to tweak it slightly or maybe add some steps or remove some, but bottom line is you're building the system. And then your job is to update and maintain that system constantly.
And I think you're not just in a silo necessarily, like these 5 engineers or however many engineers you have, they're not necessarily in a silo. They're building out the system. They're sharing that with the team every week. So what did we do this week? What did we see this week? Exactly. You have to be shipping.
System. As they're shipping, they're building the system. Okay, of the 3 things on a product map, one of them is for this small group, and they're going to build tools to accelerate it, right? At the end of it though, you've shipped something probably faster than you normally would have, but you've built a system. You have all these tools that's going to help every project you have. So I think it's the new thing. So anyways, here's your advice. Hire Dan and I at AppVitals, pick a project, give us a couple people to work with, and we will crush it for you. And you're going to be blown away how much faster things are, right?
Yep.
That's what I would do. All right. We're AppVitals, app-vitals.com, and we'll see you next time.